Hey there everyone, Hanyou here. Welcome back to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. And welcome to the murder investigation. I don't really know what to say. Yeah, I expected Nagito to be the next victim. I'm not even gonna lie about that. But even I was not prepared for the brutality of his murder, his death. And all I gotta say is fucking hell, man. Yeah, so we're investigating his death. And we just got started in the last episode. So we're picking up from there, and let's go. Let's start by investigating his body. Never expected Nagito to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No, now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. Let's go with a spear. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. Most probably the killing blow. Yeah. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle and there's an iron weight attached to it.
Phew!
I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the spear of Gungnir, right? You definitely just came up with that, right? With that now.
Hey! Hey!
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from? I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle.
What?
What? Nezumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you mice, damn you all to hell. I see, even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle. It looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. I'm kind of like analyzing the picture as I'm trying to read. It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of cord doesn't have blood on it. Well, gee, if it's the size of a human fist, that's not exactly strange that it doesn't have blood on it then, now is it? That just means somebody was holding it there when this happened. Wait, did somebody change clothes? Did anybody have a change of clothes? Or is anybody hiding any specific part of their clothes? Because if so, then they have blood on them somewhere, right? Because if this literally just happened, someone's hiding blood on them. But the size of a human fist, it's strange that, yeah. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently the spear came from Nezumi Castle. Might be better if I confirm that later. Truth bullet obtained. Spear of Gungnir, they actually called it that. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered in duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Jeez, what a horrible look on his face. The blood splattered all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape, otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him. Ah, got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Tech Junkie moved past Kazuichi and me and squatted down next to Nagito's face. And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
Ah, it'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here.
Hey, hey, hey!
Putting the tape back isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed. Ah, the blood on Nagito's face. It looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case.
Man.
It's no use. She's not listening.
Hey, hey!
Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape.
Huh?
What's wrong with that?
Well?
The duct tape has crinkles like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? She means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got all those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue, too. I should remember it. Duct tape edited truth bullets. Left hand. There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this wound looks like a slice. Also looks like the rope that was supposed to be binding his right hand was cut or burned. Probably burned from the fire. It's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to the others. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound and there's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
There's something strange. Strange, what?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from where his left arm was sliced, but doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. Was he gripping the tether attached to the spear? Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered. Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but there's something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look on the back of his hand,
Well?
there's also blood only above the middle joint fingers, which means he was gripping something. And considering the palm-size bloodless spot on the tether of the spear, he was the one holding the tether. So, you know, I'm honestly starting to think he did it to himself. He put tape on his mouth so that he wouldn't scream and alert us. He was holding the tether to the spear, which was probably attached to something that probably has to do with the Monokuma plushie with a hole through it. This is just very, very weird. Something's off here. I mean, other than the whole dead body thing, there's something off about this whole situation. There's only blood above the middle joint of the finger. You're right, why is it only on this part?
See?
See, it's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Yeah, sure, you win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? Blood on the left hand out of the truth bullets. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillar nearby. The pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito, they also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that? Also, I did notice Sonya isn't here. Just felt like saying that. And she was late to meeting us at the factory as well. And the whole situation seems off. And it's, considering how weird some of these cases can be, this actually seems a little weirder than usual. This is one of those special, extra strange cases. Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it!
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a grudge, huge grudge toward him, or they might have been torturing him. Torture?
Huh?
I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him. They could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nagito.
Damn it!
Refusing to let him die easily, I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. I think we all can, considering all the bullshit Nagito has put us all through, especially after the last few trials. I mean, we've known he's been twisted since the first trial, but especially the shit he put us through recently with the whole bomb threat and, you know, blowing up the lounge at the hotel and all of this other type of stuff. Everybody's been wanting to kill this bastard. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? Torture wounds has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Burnt rope. Nagito's right wrist is tied with a rope, but it looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be the result of the fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Ah, which means, was it planted? Was it intended to look like that because the person who did this knew there was going to be a fire? Obviously. They planned the whole thing. Anyway. Bird rope has been added to Truth Bullets section. Knife. Knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? Oh, there's Sonya. Hey Sonya, how you doing? This knife, it must be from the military base. Military base? Ah, now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well?
By the way, it seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand.
It cannot be!
And then they finished him off with the spear.
How cruel!
Then, does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using 2 weapons, a knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with a knife. Why did they need to use a spear at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use the spear, huh? Oh, by the way, I'd like to point out, since I just actually noticed and remembered it, the Spear of Gungnir, or whatever he said that spear is, that's what he called the spear he used when he killed, air quotes, Junko at the beginning of the first game. Anyway, carrying on. Survival knife edited truth bullets. I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm not surprised at myself. No, even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. Maybe. I'm actually not sure just yet about that. Something is definitely weird, especially the blood pattern on the spear's tether. Notice how there's no blood on a majority of the tether except around the weight and the spear. There's no blood on the rest of the tether at all. And the burnt rope doesn't make much sense, considering if the rope was burnt, at least his hand, which is about the exact same distance forward as the burnt end of the rope, as you can see in the picture here, that would have been, his hand would have been burnt at least a little bit. And I still don't know what's up with the Monokuma plushie. It's interesting. Anyway, carrying on. And I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Why do I have the feel? Hold on. He's dead, 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 alive, dead, alive, 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 alive. And yeah, everyone's dead, so yeah, I guess it is only the 6 of us left. Which means, after this class trial, there's going to be 5 of us left. And chances are another one of those is going to die, meaning there's probably only going to be 4 people leaving this island. I just have that feeling, that sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. Alright, best start talking to people, gathering information
so just as I thought.
If only everyone could go home, nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after. One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way. It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh. Yeah, I laugh when I get nervous too, bro. Don't worry about it. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
Yep.
Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well?
You can see a girder right next to it, right? There.
See?
Can you see that red streak? Yes, I can. Huh. That... I mean, I had a feeling that maybe there was something having to do with the tether. Like maybe after torturing Nagito, the spear was tossed over something in the ceiling, and Nagito was given hold of the other end of the tether, and as his strength drained from his other injuries, he would eventually lose his grip on the tether, which would then make the spear fall and kill him. Maybe maybe my thought process has some merit. But if that's true, then there wouldn't have been blood on the tether to leave on the beam above. So, because the tether would have already been up and around before the blood splatter got on the tether to leave the blood on the beams. So something's not right here. Huh? You're right, I definitely see it. It looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
Perhaps.
Is that blood? Blood. The color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus it's in a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. But again, it's something that doesn't really make sense if they use the system that I just explained. Because there wouldn't have been any blood on the tether to be left on the girder when the tether came around to whip around the top of the girder like that. So, huh. Unless... Actually, no, it does make sense. Because if he was given the tether, given the end of the tether after the spear was tossed over the edge, over the girder, and then the slashing wound was made in his left arm that created the blood splatter on his hand and the tether, then that would make sense before the knife was stabbed through his right hand. But still, confusion as to some of the other aspects. So that does make sense, what I just detailed out. Alright. Hey, what's up, Phoebe? Did you find anything?
Like...
I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's going to happen?
Huh?
Personally, I think it's a bomb, but considering if this place is an headquarters for the Future Foundation, and Monokuma is part of the World Enders, it's obvious that he would want to destroy anything but from the Future Foundation, and obviously that would involve destroying this island, which was set aside by the Future Foundation for Hope, which was the initial reason why we were all here. So it would make sense to destroy the island and the ancient ruin and any signs that any of this was here, right? Anyway, what's going to happen?
That's obviously wrong!
This rotten school trip is gonna end, right? We can finally go home.
Jeez.
I don't think so. You honestly think Monokuma would just say, "Oh, by the way, if you guys wait until the timer runs out, you all get to go home. No problem whatsoever." No, Monokuma doesn't work like that. He'd rather see everybody dead than see anybody leave and stuff like that. That's just how Monokuma works. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey!
What do you mean, something?
Shut up! Shut up!
Battle Royale, perhaps? Like, Last Survivor leaves? He's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that?
Damn it!
I don't know. But this is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this'll end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
You...
Then don't bring up strange stuff like that. Alright, Akane, you got anything for us? It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikan's. But it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter?
So...
The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? What were we doing? Well, right now
It's time!
It's 12:30 p.m. And it also has a clock function. So it also has a clock function. Then that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Huh? It happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh. Seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon.
All right!
Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. But this could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Which, hey, guess what I was just explaining? Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare.
All right!
So whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bombs is suspicious.
Huh?
Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, but I'm sorry to say, Sonya is probably the most suspicious one around here, considering guess who was searching around the military base? Sorry, Sonya. Right now, to me, personally, you are the most suspicious person right now. Yeah, that's the problem. And especially considering, hey, guess whose country kinda says, you need to learn how to drive a tank by the time you're a certain age. And it's, and military tactics are taught to kids and stuff like that. Hey, Sonya, you wouldn't by chance have wouldn't know any ways to torture people, would you? And, you know, knowing your way around military bases and stuff like that, and survival knives, and all that other type of stuff, and yeah. Considering we found you at the military base. Before we went to the factory, and we were at the factory probably for a while, and... Anyway, carrying on. It's almost time to cut the episode anyway, so... Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. Killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito, there should have been another reason as well. If not, they would have gone to the trouble of they wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So, what was the reason? It looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. The other wounds are a way to deviate our attention from when Not necessarily the killing happened, but when the act of torture happened that led to his death, especially if I'm right, and I think I am, about the way he was murdered with the spear and utilizing the tether. Anyway, looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try to investigate other areas inside this warehouse first. However, we're going to end this here, so if you enjoyed this episode and my wild speculation, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more content in the future. Until next time, everybody, have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye.